Okay, we are recording. And so welcome to Business in a Box webinar. It's very interactive. Feel free to stop me anytime. And I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So over here, what I'd like for you to get the vibe from this picture, because every event that we are doing, regardless who is your avatar, you want people to feel good. You want people to feel connected, welcome, cared for, and just imagine where they're coming from. That's why in this particular section, I want to pay attention to ideal avatar, your dream client. So your event, regardless of that, has to be welcoming, has to be comfortable, has to be almost like constantly breaking the ice type of flow. So then people want to come back. You want your ideal avatar to get addicted to your room, to your venue, to you, and to what topics you are discussing. So how many of you have been through recession proof challenge? Okay, excellent, because this is where Walter and Steven Beaver and many others are really nailing down the process of identifying your dream client, because dream client is someone you want to work with. Your ideal avatar is someone you want to work with, serve, attract. It could be anybody from a business owner to real estate investor to a property manager to a marketing company, whoever it is. Knowing that ideal avatar will help you identify what kind of event they will most likely go to. So then in this case, you will, have the steps to create an environment for them to show up. So if I'm a real estate investor that is focusing on putting my money to work and I don't want to do much, I just want to invest, then in my case, I might go to the event called Passive Real Estate Investor Association. So then a person who is hosting can provide resources for me, can provide education for me, and probably provide deals. So just think of your avatar as someone that you want to work the most or can benefit from or add value to. So then your description of the event, your intention for the event will be right for the avatar. If the name is wrong, there's confusion about who is coming from, then you may have no people in your room, or you may have very low count of showing up. That means there was no clarity about who you're attracting, your description, your intention, your post, your buzz all over social media did not resonate. So you want to be really congruent with that.
And if I could jump in real quick,
there you go.
The recession proof challenge, we pound on avatar from day 1 to day 21. The entire time, it's all about your customer, your client, the person you're looking to serve. And big thanks to Steven Beaver, who created the course, Skinny Avatars, Fat Wallets. Let's give Steven a big round of applause. He's done a lot of training around this. So if you haven't already taken the course, the Skinny Avatar, Fat Wallets, it's like 5 or 6 modules, but they are core. They're like, if you're not sure who you serve, or you're thinking, oh my God, I serve 2 or 3 people, you are wrong. You only serve one avatar, one group of people, one person, and all the other people kind of like that person becomes them, or will attract them, or will service them, or you find a partner who brings in the other avatar. Every real estate business transaction has 3 components: deals, money, labor. That's 3 separate avatars, 3 separate events. Hence, if you understand, there's the private capital investors, there's the wholesalers and realtors, and then there's the people like yourselves who do the deals, who actually make sure it happens, the contractors, the plumbers, the electricians, the property managers, all of those labor components. So you want to have one be your specialty and then outsource the other 2. The people who try to do all 3 stay small and work hard. Hence, the Canfor committed to making more money doing less work. Pick one avatar. That is a simple strategy for it. Like Darina said, the label you give on your event, this is just like selling books. The content of the book is not what sells my books. It's not what makes me a bestseller. What makes me a bestseller is the title and the picture on the front of the book. That's what sells it. It's the selfies with the book. It's the testimonials with somebody holding the book, talking about the book that sells the book. HandScan, you understand, they can't see your event until they show up. So the only thing you got is the title and description of the book of the event. So go ahead, Dorina. I just want to rant on Avatar for a moment. It's very important.
Because you did that, I've already got a couple of people saying, hey, I want to talk. So it's going to be in the chat. It's 30 minutes. It'll take no longer than 30 minutes for us to dial you in and be very specific of where you're wanting to go. That includes if you have 2 or 3 different businesses and you don't know which one to do. That's an avatar too. You need to dial it into one business, one person.
Awesome,
Give her
awesome.
one more
Thank
big
you,
round of applause. Thank you.
Walter and Steven. Yes, yes, yes. So, and again, you can always go through recession again. We start on February 6th. It's a Monday for 21 days. If you kind of got it, but you didn't really nail it, go through it again. It's 1 hour to less a day. And Walter will be running it, especially if you want to have like some sort of time with Walter and Steven. Perfect timing. So we'll dial a little bit for how to write a description, but again, without really nailing down the avatar and the ideal client, you will have a harder time to put the description together. But once you know, then it will just flow out of you, because you know what they want to see when they come to your event and what they want to learn and how to get them addicted to it. So there's the next kind of thing. I want to give you a whole overview of what it all means to be an event in the box, business in the box. So there's 7 steps, which obviously will not cover everything. But number 1, it's commitment. It's commitment because, again, as I mentioned earlier, it's always been difficult until it became easy. So as long as you stick to it, as long as you don't give up on it, especially we just went over it, never give up on 50 Weeks to Wealth on last Saturday. Never give up on yourself and never give up on your ideal client, because it does take time to catch the momentum. So host commitment, which is you, it's your commitment. We're committed, we show up. It's really believing in yourself and committing to sticking through it, even if your first event had 0 people, second event 5 people. Watch yourself. You will get 50, 60, 80, 100 people to your event as long as you stick to and follow the process. Now, venue is important. We'll talk about that a lot. You may change your venues 5 times. That is okay. If you're not happy with one venue, there's millions of, we're not in Cuba or we're not in any other places where like no restaurants around. There's so many options and so many venues, restaurants want our business on their slow night. Trust me, they will love you. They will take care of you. As long as you know that, okay, this didn't work out, I go to the next. So venue is important. We'll cover it today a little bit. Now, post-event, that means you want to create the buzz. So you will create a buzz about how awesome it is. Oh, look who is coming. This is the day, come to check this shrimp cocktail at this venue with us together at Cocktails and Connections. So there's just everywhere, any platform you can use it. Again, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Alchemist Connect automations. I trust everybody has an account with Alchemist Connect. If not, sign up for 30 days free, use it. You may love it and stick to it. So automations will help you to not only build a landing page, but also automatically send text, emails, reminders, capture leads, offer something for free, which will appear in your client's inbox instantly. And of course, I can book calls with you with Alchemist Connect as well. It's awesome. It's awesome. I've been using it.
You can also do surveys, which are amazing.
Yes, surveys about your event. And I mean, there's so many options. It just really helps you to work less and have more time to enjoy your family, courses, traveling, whatever you have on your plate. And then vendors will come in a couple of months from the time you start the event. Usually vendors will love, to see at least 40 people showing up. And that's who's going to pay for your marketing. Vendor sponsors, these will be our best friends. We're gonna add so much value to them. They're gonna pay you constantly. You're gonna get up to 20 with minimum of $1,000 commitment a year. You could set it up with different levels. We do have systems and processes with that. So it's awesome. It's like, that's your income. Really, it's amazing, because vendors usually who can pay referral fee. So for example, you talk to an attorney or a lender or an insurance company, and these are the people that can send referral fees. So for example, have you ever seen as an agent to be a sponsor, a real estate agent? Probably not, because they get referral fees. So it's in the deal, get them referral fees. They're allowed to do it by law. Lenders, insurance companies, and of course, attorneys, they're not allowed to get referral fee for business send, but they want to give back, or they want to pay forward because they know you send them business. So we love sponsors of that type, and they love you. So I want you to focus on that. Like, just visualize you have 20 amazing, hungry sponsors who pay you to be at your event. And they're
Let
going to
me
serve.
add that up, because she said lenders, attorneys, right? Like contractors. So in your mind, you'd be like, oh, that's only 3. Add financial planners, and then understand each attorney is doing something different. You've got your estate planners, you've got your tax attorneys, you have eviction attorneys, you have closing attorneys. There are probate attorneys. So you got 5 types of attorney. Financial planners, you got the person who sells insurance, the person who sells life insurance is different from the person who sells property insurance. You've got the insurance agent who sells, what's the other one I really like? Infinite banking, right? You get the financial planner who does infinite banking, or the financial planner who just sells their coaching services, the full overview services, or they do the estate, what is it called, where they take your funds from your account and shift it, or like equity trust, like they'll do like self-directed 401ks. So you got 4 or 5 different financial planners. And same thing with the lenders. You get your hard money lenders. You've got your traditional real estate brokers who do residential mortgages. Then you've got your commercial lenders. There's a series of lenders there. Then you've got the private money investors who will sponsor. There are real estate investors who sponsor, because they'll come up on stage and say, hey, I'm buying deals in front of the wholesalers who are at your event, or realtors who are at your event. So a lot of different types of sponsorships. Then you get to the contractor space. There are a dozen people in contracting that need to be in front of real estate investors so they get their business, along with property managers, and wholesalers and realtors will occasionally sponsor so that they can get access to the deals in the room. A lot of different options. What I've seen minimum of great RIAs is a 20 to 45 sponsors. And the income from sponsorships should be, if you do it right, anywhere between $40,000 to $85,000 just from your sponsors alone.
Who wants that? Like, it's a salary. It's amazing. It's amazing. So thank you so much, Walter. Great share, because it's like, open up your mind. They want you. They look into sponsor. There's so many times they come to another RIA and like, oh shoot, there's no more spot for them. And some of them you will meet at other people's event and talk to them, and they will sponsor your event as well. So, and again, goes down to avatar, the name of the event, and who you service. Because if you are running per se neighborhood watch or neighborhood association, you may want to have sponsors such as a landscape, someone who, okay, plumber, electrician, any of those types. If you are running passive real estate investor association, you may want to have a person who does cost segregation, or does creative financing, or is an attorney who specializes in syndication. There's so many options. So definitely just know they want you. There should be zero, I don't know if someone would actually, come to my event and sponsor me. I'm not sure. Forget about it. It's really, really easy. Once they see you have consistent amount of people showing up, they may even come to you and ask, hey, are you looking for sponsors? So that you're like, yes, I've made it. Yes, my event is awesome.
And don't do what I did in the beginning. When people come to me to sponsor, I'd be like, no, I don't take sponsors at my events. That was stupid. That was dumb. I was throwing money away. I still got all the business. I still had all the business. And when I started taking on sponsors, these guys did all the work. I didn't have to speak anymore. And they were doing more interesting things than I could do. I couldn't do these, infinite banking things. I couldn't show somebody what cost seg is. I could like touch on cost segregation, but I couldn't really explain like all the different values of it and why it's important, or estate planning why you should have an LLC or a trust, or why this one should be a little bit different, and this one you should do in your own name, and that should be structured for your family's long term. Like I didn't know all the stuff. I couldn't go into the details. And the sponsors can do that, and they don't mind paying to do that. So awesome job, Dorena. I love that. Excellent.
Yeah, thank you. And again, you can have local sponsors, you can have national sponsors. We have Michelle on the call. She has been reaching out to sponsors nationwide. So we are preparing a list of committed people that we're going to be sharing with our community. And we love national sponsors also because they understand the mission of overall of Alchemist Nation and why we do what we do. So that will come in a little bit. We're working on it, but it's going to be awesome because those people will be already committed, already warmed up, already prepped for you to have a quick conversation. So
let me jump on and share where this idea of national sponsors came from. It came from the National RIA. The National RIA pays out its RIA leaders anywhere between 25,000 to 80,000 a year because of the amount of members they have in that local RIA, because the Home Depot will pay about $2 million to the National RIA. And the National RIA takes a cut because they negotiated that contract, but then they pay out the hosts. So that's one of the components of what we were thinking about is like, man, like I would love, because as we started putting Alchemist in a box together, I was like, man, like how could I ensure that these guys get a paycheck regardless of whether they suck or not? No offense, but I trust everybody about as far as I can throw a person until you prove to me otherwise. Hence, can't if you understand. Like you're all guilty until proven profitable. So I looked at it before we even set this at the summit. I said, what can I possibly do to make sure to ensure? And I came up with, well, if we go and we try to get these national contracts, companies like Peer Street or tech companies or software companies that are national vendors, the big capital investment companies, the hard money lenders, the brokerages, the title companies. I said, man, if I could just score a couple of those, maybe I can get Lowe's, because I'm in negotiations with Home Depot. At first, they were like, well, we can't do it because, National RIAs are big boys, like they're the ones we play with. And I was like, cool, I'm glad we're having the conversation. At least I know the person who doles out the money. Hence, if you understand, we're in the conversations right now. We're doing what it takes. So the more people we bring on to Alchemist Nation, it's one of the reasons I set the target of 10,000 users is because like the National RIA, we have 3 times the traffic on our website than they have. So we already know we're delivering at a higher level because of the content we're putting out there, because it's free. You don't have to pay for anything. So we've got the ability to get these national sponsors. So the events that you're doing, the more people you're bringing to your events, the more value you're delivering, the more you're using Alchemist Connect, Alchemist Nation as like just here, because you're part of us, you get access to this, the easier it becomes for you to grow and the easier it becomes for me to help you monetize. So it's a team effort. We're all working together towards the same goal, but I want you to know, like, I love big negotiations. It is super fun to me to be thinking like I can go to the table with these big companies and offer something valuable. And then they're going to offer some sort of deal, just like the Home Depot does a big discount for the National RIA. I'm thinking I can get some deals and opportunities for Alchemist Nation members. The bigger we get, the easier it becomes for me to negotiate. So thank you for the opportunity. And also you're welcome. Coming soon.
You should go not, Walter, you should not go only national, you have to go international, global.
Lars, you're our man in Spain, brother.
Canada.
Let's give Lars a round of applause. He's ready to go.
Canada, yeah. Canada is there.
Take it away, Dorena.
Yeah, so, sponsors, don't worry about how yet, just, focus on building the group. But the money will come, the support will come, and it will come quick. So it will be awesome. Now, about types of events, I want to touch on that. And Walter, you and I had a brainstorming session one time the other day where you identified 5 potential, or actually 6, how I counted, type of events. So do you mind just going over them, how you see and why they're different from one another?
So Well, as you're looking at these lists, just visualize avatars. I want you to live in the world of avatars, the world of Stephen Beaver for a moment. One avatar that we all need are real estate agents, attorneys, lenders, insurance folks, the contractors, the plumbers. Hanscam, if you remember, we just talked about sponsorships. We talked about sponsors. So we need those folks. We need a big pool of them in order to have a bunch of people we can talk to and get our sponsorships. The more sponsors we have access to, the better. So there's an event called Business and Real Estate Professionals that Alchemist Nation runs in every location. And the people who benefit most from that are not the realtors, the lenders, or the attorneys. They're coaches. They're success coaches, they're life coaches, they're strategy coaches. People like Stephen Beaver run events about real estate professionals, business and real estate professionals, because that's their client. They can dial them in on the avatar, dial them in on sales, dial them in on marketing. So that's a partner that you have where you can go to them because they're getting paid, right, from their coaching services. It's a great lead magnet for them to bring in their clients. So they're already benefiting. They have a good reason to do all of it. But then you can leverage them to get your sponsors. You go to their events, you meet all their clients, you talk to them, say, hey, who do you like that is moral, ethical, does things legally, and would like to sponsor my event? And let the coach create opportunities for you. Hanscam, if you understand, other community leaders will create opportunities for you. It's all about synergy. It's about working together. National REIA, I don't got to tell you, brings buyers in. If you're a real estate investor, the real estate investor associations, the real estate investor groups, the real estate investor meetups, these bring in real estate investors. They bring in wholesalers and they bring in a small amount of realtors, not a ton of realtors. That's where the business of real estate professionals comes in. So this is a great group for realtors to run who are looking to work with buyer investors, investment buyers. This is where you can monetize the 7 streams of income from running your events because coaching is available, mentorship is available. You can partner with the coach who runs the other events. They'll come in and speak. They'll do some service for you. There's a lot of synergies for this group, as well as it's a great group to raise capital, sort of. It's a great group to source deals, sort of. It's a middle of the road. Like if you envision, like it definitely brings in buyers for sure. And then about halfway it brings in deals and it brings in money. Whereas the next event, the Landlord Association, brings in deals. All it does is bring in deals. Just brings in people who own real estate in your market. And it also brings in potential buyers. But that's kind of middle of the road because the landlords, Hanscam, if you're already a landlord, you're a real estate investor, own some property. Yep. You'd go to the Landlord Association, be buying more, right? So realtors and wholesalers do a great job with landlord associations because it's a great place to meet the local landlords. And then this is where I had this conversation with Carla today. You really have a consultation with them. You become their consultant where you can say, maybe we're looking at your portfolio. Maybe we should sell a 3-family to buy a 6-family. How does that work for you? And now you have access to additional transactions. Realtors, you know what I'm talking about? Like we can be consultants, right? In a landlord association. Investors, landlord associations are great for getting off-market listings. Like off-market deals, like this landlord's in a shitty situation. They come in, by the way, they're not the one you want to network with. They're the one you want to help. They come in, they're like, my tenants suck. They're the worst. I hate the city. I hate this. I'm a magnet to those people. If I'm hunting for property, I want the negative Nelly in the room. And I'm going to go over and be like, oh my God, everything you said is so true. Let's go take a look at that property. Because I got an offer for you. So landlord association is great for identifying multifamilies or rental properties. This is the absentee landlords are who you invite to these events. And it's just a fantastic, you want to get all these people you can never get on the phone together in a room. This is how you do it, by making them feel special. The workflows we use are fantastic. It's, hey, landlord association, we see you're an investor in the city. Like, it's just fantastic. This is for listings, for off-market listings. Passive income investors, I don't got to tell you what this is about. This is about the people with the money. This is like the events that I show up to. I show up to these events thinking like, what investment am I getting into today? Right? If somebody has something that says, investments for the ultra rich, I'm going to go to that because I want to know what they think the ultra rich invest in, and maybe there'll be other ultra rich people in the room. And I know as an ultra rich person, that's how I fucking got here in the first place. I network with other wealthy people. And it's can't understand passive income investment events or multifamily investment events or multifamily networks. Anything that has like kind of a big money vibe to it will attract people who either have big money or will have big money. Hence, if you understand, that's why we do those events. If you're looking to raise capital, you got to surround yourself with people who have capital or are going to have capital. Neighborhood associations, this is by far my least favorite to do because I cannot stand motivated sellers. But if you are a wholesaler, If you are a wholesaler and you are tired of the competition, you got to do a neighborhood watch or a neighborhood association. And that's where you get all of the people who complain about everything in the neighborhood together. And they're the ones who will tell you about every property in the neighborhood that is a piece of shit. You don't have to fuck driving for dollars. We're done with that. You let the old ladies in the neighborhood tell you what's fucked up, and then you let them tell you. You'd be like, yo, I'll solve it. I'm gonna go buy that house. You help me get into that house. You build that relationship for me, and I'm gonna go get the grass will always be cut. Hands if you understand. This is why I hate them. But man, if you're a wholesaler and you like that hustle, you like that work, you gotta run these. You gotta run the neighborhood watch. And again, I think you're probably seeing the theme. Behind the scenes of all of these, it's about ultimate servitude to this group of people. It's about being like, when you do a neighborhood watch, it's like, hey, what could we improve? Let's all do a committee. Let's all go clean up the park tomorrow. Or like this week, we're going to get all these people together. We're all going to do it together. The little old lady down the street, she's struggling. She doesn't have money. Let's all go cut her grass. Let's let's clean the sidewalks for her. Let's do some work together. Like the neighborhood watch really is about getting in the community and serving and adding value. Same with the landlord association, same with real estate investors. Like the REIs, like you're there to build millionaires. That's your intention as a realtor. Like you're running those events to help those people build legacy wealth. Like that's the intention behind each one of these events. And if you understand, like the business and real estate professionals, that's about connecting. Let's get these guys deals. Let's get these guys money. Let's get them some relationships that scale them up. Let's get them a coach if they need it. Then you got the business network, and the business network is it's questionable, right? This one is like, I'm not 100% sold on it. I've not seen it done well yet. Dorina added it to the list because I kind of put it on my whiteboard, but I was like, there was a question mark on the side of it. Still not sold. But down the road, we may go into that more in the marketing side of things, the sales side of things. It'd probably be beneficial for coaches or for capital raisers who are looking to raise big sums of money from not real estate, but business owners. Because business owners do have a component to a lot of money. Hence, most of the money is in businesses. Like they're wealthier. They just make more, right? We do very well. So we haven't quite nailed that one down, but I do know I hate the young professional events because it's always broke people at those. And I do like the BNIs, well, not the BNIs, the chambers of commerce, although I don't know that we want to compete in that space. I think it's done very well. It's just a matter of like, you might want to be a member if you want to raise private capital. Does that make sense? So I threw it on there as like, maybe we partner with them, but I can't see us taking that space over. I think they do a really good job. Who here understands why we do certain events and how they all tie into each other? Awesome. Excellent.
Oh, thanks so much. You're awesome. So at this point, I would like, maybe you want to take a screenshot of this screen, because this is just like a little bit of a keywords Golf put together about a month ago on Recession Proof Challenge, just in case you're not a part of it. It helps you to structure your name based on type of the event you're going to be running. Whether it's Real Estate Investor Association, for example, let's take that one. It's the city name. Say we'll take Marine City Newark Real Estate Investor Association, right? So then you will know who it's going to attract. Again, it's all timed together. It's the name that matters when people search for the event. If you're high C personality, you want to know what's going on, people will go and read description of the event. But if I were me, a high I just look at the name. Oh, it sounds like a party, sounds like fun. I'm gonna go after it. Oh, multifamily. I love multifamily. It's fun. It's awesome. All right. Oh, it's in Boston Multifamily Network. I'm gonna go there. So just play with the name and make sure it speaks to who you want to attract. Is everyone good with this slide? Just want to make sure. Yes, so. Okay. Now, creating a bus. So imagine you have the name, you have description, you now found the venue. We talked about the venue. We'll touch base on that on the next slide, just to make sure we know do's and don'ts. But the buzz is super important. The other day we discussed how we can use and leverage our personal page on Facebook and tag as many people as we want, and just kind of drop in announcements about 3 days before my event, and I have 25 people registered. This is awesome. It's going to be about topic. Now you can, on Instagram, if you have a decent following on Instagram, it's all visual. You may want to have a picture of your friends at the event. It doesn't have to be your event. It could be any event you attended. Summit, recession proof challenge, conference, anything you post it on Instagram. Eventbrite, it's becoming really, really popular. A lot of people go on Eventbrite and look for events. So we want to make sure we always post an event on Eventbrite. It's all of this, what you see is free. Facebook is free, LinkedIn is free, Instagram is free, Eventbrite is free. So I don't know if Stephanie Bell is on the call. She's actually running her first event tomorrow. Oh, actually, is it tonight? No, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. She's from Charlotte, and she's overwhelmed how many people are registered. It's over 80, and it's her first one.
These are good
Right.
problems. I
It's a
hope they
good
all show
problem.
up.
She's like, oh my God. Well, it's two of them. It's her husband and herself, both master students, and she is gonna be at the registration desk, and Brandon is going to be welcoming everybody, but she's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And then I went through her Facebook page and LinkedIn, and I saw that she's constantly saying something about the event that she's going to have. On top of that, she's actually running coffee and breakfast meetings every Tuesday morning. So it's just like a casual, it's a smaller type of group, just maybe 5-6 people, but it's 5-6 people that are different every single week, which then leads them to a big event. So it's all possible when you start from scratch. It's about the buzz, it's about making an announcement. Like Walter said the other day, you can have a picture with your dog and say like, look, you know, Lainey will be here at the event with us tomorrow. Who wants to meet her? And people who love dogs, they will be there, right? Or maybe they'll bring their own dog, unless it's not allowed. But most patios, if you're in a warm weather patio, allows some animals to join. It's just whatever floats the boat, whatever fits your avatar, right? So utilize that to the fullest. Don't be shy. Just post. And one thing I would warn you, don't drop the links to your events on Facebook specifically. Just tell them, hey, wanna let me, here's the date, here's the address, the time. If you want to register, which I strongly encourage you, send me a PM, send me a DM, send me a personal message. So then if we don't post links on Facebook and we have a lot of comments, our post goes up, and people who are your friends, they will constantly see these posts with a lot of comments and a lot of engagement. Once you add the link, Facebook doesn't like it because why? You take all of the people off Facebook to another website. They don't like it, so they bring your post down and nobody sees it. So just be cautious of that.
Let me add one on breaking news and on like leveraging like social media. When you see us getting closer to the summit, about 60 days out, I shift all of my campaigns, everything that I do, all of my energy. My going to the gym becomes about the summit, right? Like because I only do one huge event per year, and I'll spend a long period of time to focus on that one event. And then I start interviewing the other people that will be at the event. Now, because I have a lot of speakers, I'm interviewing my speakers. I'm bringing in, Bill Allen. I brought in Sam. I brought in Mitch and Mike and the other Mitch. And I started bringing in all of these speakers who are going to be on stage. And I just do it like interview every day, back to back to back to back to back, every day as I was getting closer and closer. And I would post a picture of this person and what they're really known for. If you want to find it, you want to meet them, like you got to come to the summit and meet them in person, hang out with them, get a selfie. And so I was using celebrities to promote an event of that size. But remember, I charge $500 to $5,000 for that event. So I'm able to bring in these celebrities. I'm able to fill the room, make it really impressive to them. You can do the same exact thing with attendees, right? If you know Hyrie is going to be at the event, you can be like, Hyrie, like, can I post a picture and like a little bio about you? And just be like, here's one of the people who you're going to meet at the event. Or you could do like little like Facebooks or TikToks and just be like, hey, I got Maureen. She's going to be at the event this week. One of the things we love about networking is this, Maureen, give us a tip. Like, how did you get into your business? Tell us about you. This way, when other people get to the event, it's already kind of like you're a celebrity, even though You don't have to be a celebrity. It's just like me, like most of the people I bring to the summit, nobody knew about them outside of me knowing them, me introducing, like all my coaches, my celebrity coaches became celebrities because I made them celebrities. Right? Nobody knew these guys. Nobody knew who Mitch was or Mitch or Dr. Terry. Like they know, or Michael Ryan McDermott. Like nobody knew these celebrity coaches until I said they were celebrities, and I started showing them up, and I'm like bringing them in, asking them questions, like because they were great people and they had great coaching programs or great services, and I really wanted to celebrate my friends, so I turned them into celebrities. Hence, Karen, if you could do the same thing. Here's the weird thing: by doing that, it got more attention on everything we were doing. People who never paid attention to me before were like, what? These guys do stuff? Like, who is this? Like, and they started seeing stuff, and then they'd share it or they talk about it and somebody else would see it. So do not underestimate, like, it doesn't matter if they're known right now. You make your friends famous, right? You can make your attendees famous. Who here knows? People recognize you if you're on the 52 Weeks to Wealth. They will recognize your face if you ask a question. They'll be like, I saw you on the calls. And you'd be like, I had to see you. It happens at the summit. You will see it when you get to the summit. If you're somebody who's asked questions or been seen on the calls, like you are a celebrity in the minds of like 1,000 people who watch those videos afterwards. Because those videos, like just because we got 100, 200 views on day one, they stay out there for months and months and months, and they rack up to 10, 20, 15,000 views. So it really, but that's one of the benefits of keeping your camera on. So like these little things that you're doing on, like you can create your own, right? Like I do it. You see exactly what I do on the 52 weeks. I have structure. You don't need structure. I created structure because I'm, like that. And I decided to go a little deeper. Hence, if you understand the process, just anything will work. Me and Vinny have almost no structure. In fact, me and Vinny literally steal the structure from Saturdays. That's all we do. Like, he's like, what's the principle this week, Walter? And I'm like, okay, that's what we're going to talk about. So we talk about the Saturday principle on Thursday, and then we get to Saturday, and now I can say I spoke to Vinny about this principle this week, and this is something that he said. So it gives me a way to leverage a personality and build even more celebrity for one of my friends. Thanks, Karen, for catching this. This is all alchemy. Like we're just making it all up. We're creating value out of nowhere. But Darina's got more to say. So let's give it back to Darina.
Thank you, Walter. No, that's awesome. Awesome tip. Yes, make your friends famous. Probably going to be the theme of my night. Make my friends famous. So quick, and this is just a quick snippet of what to do and not to do with the venue. We'll go more about that maybe on the next call. But just quick tip. Yes to casual bar, and of course we want to have either private or semi-private room. It's important to have a casual bar because if you go and you're fancy, number one, it will be a little bit costly for an average person, and number two, they'll most likely try to commit you to a food and beverage minimum, which we say no to every single time. And there's so many restaurants, like I mentioned earlier, who are hungry for a business on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or maybe Thursday night, which is empty in their restaurant. And you come in here and you say, hi, my name is Steven Beaver. I have a group of real estate investors, and we're just looking for a new location for our monthly networking nights. And I love your venue. It looks perfect. How does it work? Do you have, let me see your private space. Oh, excellent. And it's like, okay, well, would that be possible to book something on a weekday, 6 to 9 or 7 to 9? Oh yeah, it's possible. All right. Well, let me ask you, what's the slowest night? What's the slowest night of the week? Because we're pretty flexible. We want to make sure we add value and it's something that works for you. Okay, well, Tuesday seems to be like slow or excellent. So would that be okay if I bring 20 to 30 people, we just order a regular menu and pay as we go? Okay, yes, sure. And they would say, well, we have buffet and we have food and beverage minimum requirement for this type of room. So in this case, like, well, you know what? Give us a chance. We want to be bringing your business every month. And, we're type of the group. We are real estate investors. We drink heavily, we eat heavily, and we tip heavily. And I would ask for no food and beverage commitment because I know my people eat and drink. And if you love the way we are, we'll just continue with guaranteed business over the next 12 months. How does that sound for you? And it's like, okay, well, and some will ask you maybe for $100, not upfront, but like, okay, can you at least do that so they can cover the cost of their bartender or waitress? But trust me, if you have at least 5 people, they come, everybody order drinks, food, which you will tell them to do. Hey, make sure, guys, we have a wonderful venue for free. Order food, order drinks, let's support the venue. And most likely everybody will order something. So then you don't have to worry about any cost over what you like, nothing. And if the venue say no to that, then you move on to the next one and to the next one. It may take you 5 or 6 venues to go through. Takes a week, that's okay. And now you found your perfect venue. You want to have parking, and again, you want to have casual, regular menu on tables where people can order as they go. The best is when you have, say, the whole second floor or the whole basement, and you have a bar inside. So all you need is one bartender. You also want to make sure that any venue that you book, you always have either just empty space for standing or high tops, then move into a seated position. The reason why, if you don't have that welcoming sign of, hey, stand here and mix and mingle, then people will sit down and you kind of kill your networking. You'll kill your networking. They're going to be talking to the person next to them for the rest of the night. And it will be a little bit awkward because when people don't know each other and they sit next to each other, it's very close, it's very intimate, and they have to start conversation. But what if they want to talk to someone else? So you always want to have that standing space for the first 30 to 40 minutes of your event. And then as you make an announcement, hey, welcome everybody, thanks for coming, all of that, then you can invite them to sit down, especially when you have a speaker ready to speak. They sit down then, but not before. And one other thing is that if you see white linens, this has been my experience, maybe you're lucky, I would not go there. It's expensive and they ask for money. So white linens is something that it's shown, it's a little bit upscale where they're very set on things, how they do it. Either it's a buffet or it's a banquet. In their language, it's a banquet because they have 20 people. I think some of you encountered that issue where they set everything fancy. A regular guest feels a little pressured, they have to eat a lot and they have to sit right and elbows off the table. It just kills the vibe of, hey, let's love each other, connect, and do business. So just try to avoid white linens. If you see them, just okay, next.
The only time I will say that changes is if you have a financial planner and they're talking about taxes for the rich. Like sometimes those sit down white linen things can actually make sense. It really will depend on what type of event you're doing, because the high-end events will benefit from those.
And that comes when, okay, Galter, thank you. I could agree with that, but it can only happen after you actually have a sponsor who can
100%.
Actually, so there is a financial planner who sponsors you for a year. He paid you $3,000. Now at this point, if a venue is asking for food and beverage minimum of $300, $400 a night, you can afford it. You can afford white linens, but you don't want to. There's no money up front here. So we've been to those events. There was like the whole dinner paid by a sponsor. That's possible. Just be cautious. Don't be a Rockefeller and just, okay, I'll put $1,000 and I had 5 people show up. No, we don't want that. And also, my personal experience, don't do hotels, because what happens, 2 things. Number 1, people are hungry. It's usually at night. They come in, they want to eat, but unfortunately, the bar is somewhere else and they have to be in the room where there are just chairs and nothing else. So you instantly kind of splitting up your crowd. One are eating and one are listening. You want everything together. So then if I'm hungry, I can order anytime. I have a speaker, I'm listening, I'm happy, my belly's happy, I'm tired from work. Now I'm good, I have a glass of wine. So just avoid hotels. They definitely going to charge you 100%, and they're just going to make it too formal for a person who is coming to your event after a busy day and they just want to have a good time. So yeah, and
the
if
only
there's no
exception-
parking,
Yep.
don't go there. Yes.
The only exception I will make when it comes to hotels is when you do workshops. So, workshops, something will progress you to down the road. For now, I want you to focus on the networking and getting your networking groups going. But workshops are a really great way to add value to your sponsors and add value to your community. Doing a workshop that's specifically like names on deeds or be the bank or how to get the deal or tax strategies, like doing very specific workshops, like 4-hour workshops or full day workshops where you have multiple different speakers coming in. Those are huge value to the sponsors, and then they're huge value to your community. Those, because they're more of an inclusive, longer duration, hotels can make sense. Does that make sense? Like we
Or
understand
if
why
it's a
we may
100 millionaire
shift.
summit, you
What
can
is
do
it?
if it's a 100 millionaire summit, you can also do a hotel. But we always have a party, so it's a good mix.
Hey, I've got a way to not get people to sit down. And I've already got it lined up. If you give me share screen, it'll take like 10 seconds for everybody to get it. And it worked 100%.
Go ahead and try.
Okay. This is what's on the TV screens when they walk in.
Okay. We're here to or you can put something on each chair. It's like, hey, you're not allowed to sit down right now.
This
Well, it
this
says
actually
right
makes a lot
there,
of sense.
stop.
And
Stop, stand, talk, opportunities. What the WTF? We are here to talk and build a relationship, find synergy. So stand, talk, and I had everybody stood until I had them sit down. Everybody was standing and talking. And then the funny thing is when it was over, people were going over to other people's tables and talking and standing and everything. So that's I did 7 slides, but that was the first, that was up there while everybody was coming in, signing in. So, hey,
Love it.
sign, right? Nobody sat down.
Excellent. No, I love it. And many of the rooms are actually going to have, some venues do have projector and screen for free, and some actually have TVs, and all you have to do is bring your computer and hook it up with
All I
HDMI
did.
cord. Exactly. So nowadays, every restaurant has a TV set that you can use, and moreover, they have microphones when you have a big group later on. So again, this is in a nutshell, and the last thing I want to show, I know it's already 6 o'clock. I hope you have maybe 10-15 minutes more to stick around. I want to go over the behind the scene showcase on how you actually post event on Meetup and LinkedIn and Eventbrite real fast. It takes 5 minutes each. And then I know Steven Beaver has asked if we have an event coming up for him real soon. So he wants to go over it so you can see it's the exact same process for everyone else. So Steven, where do you want to start? Do you want me to go to Alchemist Connect and show how the landing page is set, or meetup.com?
Go to meetup.com. That's more interesting for everybody. They'll get to see it.
Okay, yes.
See
And
flavor.
like I saw Lee going with the chat about how Meetup actually helps you to follow up with attendees as well. So there's a lot of good things about Meetup, and as you can see, and this is going to ask you in the future, once you create your Meetup group, start a new group here. Just send me an invite, make me a co-organizer so I can make any edits that are necessarily on my team. And we have actually a lot of groups already, and we have the same style, which the brand guideline is available to you on the course Alchemist Nation in the box. I'm gonna drop that in the chat. For a lot more details, you will find them all here. Sample agenda, some rules, pictures, editable Canva templates. Feel free to use those. So let me share real fast in the chat, because I believe this is something that will help you, especially if you are associating with Alchemist Nation. So we want to stay congruent with the brand. So therefore, we have awesome banners. Look at that, created for every one of you. And once you say, I'm ready, let's go, then you have more of those created. There's the city behind it and the name. Again, the city and the name. So this is, oh, this is Steven. There we go. And you can have your logo next to us. You can have just your logo, but this is pretty cool. So anyway, we're gonna go here and find Steven's Beaver Meetup. And that's going to be Dallas. Do you see yourself? Where is it?
Right
Oh,
there.
we go. Okay.
Look for the,
I look
palm
for the
tree.
palm trees.
Palm trees. And because I'm a co-organizer, I have full access to make some edits. Just like if I see something that maybe wants to be approved, I do that. And you have just about the group, the name, and then each event would be different. So, Steven, is that where you wanted to go here first?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure, yeah, and by the way, I just turned this on today. We already have 3 attendees. Into 61 members, was 62 2 weeks ago, and we didn't, and it was my fault, not Dorina's, that I didn't get the next event planned. And so my CRM has been turned off this time. So that 60 members that I got was in about 2.5 weeks of doing the CRM. So if it had been on, and then we had 20 people show up, and I had the wrong damn date on it.
And
still,
they still
it
came.
still showed up, right? They still got that message.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
awesome.
so that's the event place. I thought that was a better picture for everybody, because then they also know, oh, well, yeah, this is definitely the place, right? So,
yeah, this is the place. And what I would pay attention is to the font name. So every description you say is always started with some sort of hook. For example, if we go to the page description overall, it's like, did you know, for example, did you know that 95% of millionaires made through real estate? Question mark. Okay. And then you go page and sponsor. And then
yeah,
you go with,
yeah.
okay, well, in our group, we teach you how to become the 5% and become millionaires, for example. Or did you know that 75% of Americans retire at the age of 70, and we want to change the status quo by teaching you how to become financially free. So it could be anything that's going to hook the story. And look at the name. It's like, who is going to skip that name? Barbecue, Texans, real estate deals on steroids, not the meat on Texas, the deals. And then more SEO, search engine optimization, will be here in the description. All right. So what we are about, how we are about, and I hope this this supposed to, are you trying to do the hyperlink, or
I thought I did. I tried this morning. I might not have done it correctly.
it might be something with my meetup. I'm just gonna refresh it real fast. But guys, check this out. Dallas.alchemistfree.com. This is one of many very similar looking websites that Alchemist Connect has created for each of the event hosts. And this is something that, you know, it's already in your CRM if you have one. And this is a cool landing page where you can click to register, where you can download free 7 steps to find your perfect avatar guide. All you gotta do is to put your email. It's gonna come to your inbox, and you can book a call. And this is where your sponsor come in. So all of this is done for you, really. And Steven Beaver has learned how to look at that. Everything is updated. I love it.
Yeah, I'm getting
And-
better.
That's
at
the
it.
camera. If this is very cool, it's like you don't have to do the hard stuff anymore.
Diana, you must have knew that this was a subject that I really need, because all jokes aside, today, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I mean, excuse me, y'all. Forget it. I'm going to do this event. It's April the 13th from 6:30 to 8. That is at my girl got a space called Her Power Move, which she was an attorney She turned it to real estate and she got all these big spaces. So we already locked that down. I already called 3 people like, hey, I'm giving an event. Would you like to come and share some stuff? So I already got one underwriter. I got my boy talking about shipping container. I got my boy coming in from Naria. So, and it's April. So I'm just starting. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make my friends celebrities. So thank you, Diana. Look, I wrote everything down, everything. I'm ready. So I'll let you know when I'm ready. I'm ready, April the 13th, 6:30 to 8 at her Power Moves in Fort Lauderdale. I'm ready.
Excellent, excellent. For some reason, my meetup is not opening. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I just want to go back to Stephen. Stephen, a quick thing. I see that here's the place I believe we should add the description of this particular topic, right?
Okay,
Of the February 8th. February 8th is when we are meeting. So we can show how it's done. So events. And in fact, look at this. You can interact with your attendees through here. I'm going to say, I am so excited. And then go back to the event. And since I'm a core organizer, I can actually add pictures. I can add pictures and I can choose. Stephen, you can, oh, it's too big. Okay. Well, you know, there's pictures that, for example, Steven Beaver at the summit having fun, and I can,
lots of fun.
yeah, do this one. So you can have, like, before you even have your first meetup, take pictures from other places to show it's a lot of fun here.
If you're at
Now,
the summit, we got you. We already got you covered. If you weren't, well, you learned the lesson. Be there this year. Because we got you.
excellent. So about the event, how to bulletproof. Okay, this is the topic. So what I would like to do, I'm going to copy that. Now I'm going to go to a very amazing place called Alchemist Connect. And since I have access to everybody, I'm going to go to Steven Beaver, to his CRM, his location. I'm going to go to sites. I'm going to go to business in the box that's built for him already. You don't have to recreate the wheel. Business networking event. And this is his homepage. I'm going to click edit. And you can edit anything you want. Images, logos. But what I want to edit is this part. Boom. I may want to have it in bold. And I want to have this one in a little more interesting to read sometimes when you have breaks and you have some words highlighted. Fund deals. And it's very specific when I say fund deals. That will stick out to people who speaks, who is the avatar for Steve. You know, deals, fund deals, you know, they're high net worth individuals that see that word and they see fund and they see deals. So, you know, they're already like, oh, okay, you know, that's something that triggers me. I want to go. And maybe recession is attracting business owners, because any business in a recession could struggle or could thrive. So this event will show you how to stay on top of your shit and, you know, level up. So event info, there you go. And I can save it. May take 20 seconds to update, but let's check it out. Maybe it's updated already. Oops, not here. There you go. Now people know what the event is going to be about. They can click to register. And here's a very cool part of it. Once I put my pre-registration information that I know I'm going, it's a week from now, I'm going, like 2 weeks from now, I can put who I am. I'm a real estate investor. If I were an attorney, I put attorney, contractor, property manager. So once I do that and I click register, Steven Beaver is got me in his CRM inside Alchemist Connect with the tag real estate investor.
And I think you should show them where it went to so they can go find that.
That's where I'm going. Yep.
Dang
So
it.
two
Already
things.
had it.
Well, I just want to show you that I do have me here and I have certain tags. Real estate investor, right? There you go. And this is probably Steven Beaver add me those tags already, but I have this tag because I just filled out the form. And how to know how many people are registering or checking in at your event, we are going to go to sites. And guys, by the way, we do have weekly Alchemist Connect training every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, where you can learn all of this. Submissions. And now I can pick the form because the form is live event pre-registration. Look, I'm here just now. Just now I registered and Steven Beaver probably has been testing it. And look, some other people already registered. So this is cool. You know, this is from last time and I can see these are fresh new. So it's awesome. And then once people, let me go here first, go back for a moment. At the event itself, you will have your URL, which we again put together for you, /check-in. This is what you're going to be using at the event. So Steven will be at the door. Hey, type your name, welcome, or maybe you put together a QR code, people scan with their phones, and then, you know, they're in your CRM. So again, I'm checking in. I have, this time I want to be a handyman, for example. I click checked in. And remember, I am right here at the event already. So I go back to Alchemist, sites, forms, submissions. I go here. Now it's event check-in form, which is linked to your website, to your landing page. And here I am. I just registered. So next day, after your event, you will see, oh my God, I have like 100 people checked in, or 5 or 10 or 20. And you will know you can download them and you can just say thank you. But moreover, I don't know, Walter, is it too much information? I just
Too
don't
much.
want to.
We've lost them already. They can't handle it. Hands to the camera if this is a lot.
No, good, Diane. Jarena, keep going.
There's one more thing.
I was gonna
promise,
say
one
it's
more
just
thing
what
on
I
the show.
needed.
One more thing, which is the magic that's why we're so strong about Alchemist Connect, because there's a magic happening here in the marketing. Actually, I like in the automations. Automations. If you go to networking events folder, and again, once you're committed, remember the step number 1, host commitment. You tell me, Darina, I'm going with it. I said, yes. And I go to my team and I tell them, please move this entire funnel and the workflow into this person's CRM because they're committed to run events. Now, next day, you come to your CRM and you see this beautiful folder. And this folder has workflows that is doing the automation for people who check in, for people who pre-registered or want to sponsor your event. So as you're talking and building connections, CRM is sending text to people who checked in again or pre-registered. So for example, if I am pre-registering, Steven, did you change something here? I see.
No, I started this one, but I was gonna do it today, but I didn't.
Okay.
Benny and I, so couldn't do it.
That's fine. So I see here that update for barbecue, that's probably Okay, so I think I would want to take a look at this because
So this one that you're in is the
pre-register
one for people that came or have registered.
registered,
The
yes.
one that had 411 was my regular CRM that was bulk emailing everybody in LinkedIn that on my first connections that were in real estate to come to the event. This is a follow-up CRM. They're going to be a follow-up CRM.
Okay. Okay, let me go back. Because I'm not seeing what I want to see here. Well, let's check networking event check-in. So this is one check-in. Oh, this is me probably.
Yeah, they actually asked me, hey, did you just send me a text? I was like, no.
So for example, networking event checklist, when I come in,
Yep.
I get a tag, and then 3 hours later, you see the trigger here?
Yep.
Hello, Dorina will be my name. In fact, I will receive it in 3 hours. Thanks for coming to my network and feel free to reach out anytime, Steven. So what happens is that as I'm leaving super happy after the event, I get a thank you for coming from Steven himself. Steven may be already sleeping, or he's leaving, or he's driving, or he's getting home, or whatever, but I am getting the text because this is cool. And Steven's thinking about me, and he's so happy that I came. So the CRM works for you. And then now sometimes it's 2-hour event and you can do 2 hour, or you can do 4 hour. So we know there's a little time in between. It shouldn't be happening right away. So, and I think, Steven, this is something that you build.
That I built. You can show them if you want.
She doesn't know if it works.
I rather not because this is
It works.
different.
She's
I
like,
got-
I don't know
got
if I want to go
60
in there.
people in 2.5 weeks. It works.
All right.
And this is a networking sponsorship workflow. So if you go to your landing page and you finally have a sponsor and you're so excited they are applying, all they gotta do is scroll down, fill out the form, and they get this could be changed, but they get, okay, they want to be gold, silver, bronze, or one type. This is just an application. In this case, you will receive a text that, hey, someone applied for being a sponsor. They get a text, thank you so much for applying. And also I'll get a text that someone is applying for being your sponsor. And on top of it, there is that workflow where the sponsor gets like, thanks so much for your support. This is all changeable to the way you want it. For example, I want to change that. Thanks so much for your thank you so much for your support and interest to be a sponsor for custom values event.
Event name, second from the top.
I see it. Why do we have a venue name? Okay. But it shouldn't be an event name. It should be a group name. That's where I'm coming from.
Okay, well, we got to add that field in. We didn't have that in there.
Okay, I'm just gonna go here and do it manual, but you see how it could be done. So many options. Woohoo! And I can say someone will reach out to you shortly. We are very excited.
In
and
fact,
then
you want to make it sound badass. Instead of saying someone, say our team, because you got a team.
You can actually put in somebody's username too. So if you have
Yep.
other people in your system, instead of coming from Steve, it can come from whoever else is on his team.
Yep.
This is awesome. And you can also, since they add a phone number here, you can also add a text. So for example, this is saved. I can add the wait time here, say 1 minute, 1 minute, and I add a text. And if I do have templates, you can, put the template here. If not, Remember, this is text, so you don't want to put too much space in between each phrase. Says Walter, thank you so much for your interest to become a sponsor for.
Funny how the
for-
formatting came over. It won't come over in a text, don't worry. Text only
Okay.
comes out one way.
Okay. Thank you. My team will reach out to you shortly, Steven. And it could be Steven who is reaching out, but it's just in case. And this is cool. This is awesome. It's safe. So a sponsor's taken care of. If you're sleeping or doing something and they come to your website and they apply, and or maybe they're in front of you, you just, hey, here's where you apply.
Hands to the
And-
can if you're concerned, you're not paying attention to things. Like, what if I'm not paying attention to my website? Like, how would I know a sponsor signed up? Don't you worry. Because those other two notifications below are internal notifications. They'll shoot you a text to say, hey, a sponsor just signed up on your website. Go pay attention.
Yeah.
It's nice to be notified. It's babysitting you too.
That's awesome. And
We,
I
we
just
know
want
our
to
people. We
show
know.
you it's Blake Willis now here. I just want to show you quickly the automation for Business in the Box for when they pre-register. So this is coming to you by default no matter what. So we have check-in, it's when they are at the event and they check-in form, or if they register in advance, which is right here, that button, what they get from there. Not you sending them, thank you, see you soon. The system sends them something. For example, wait 1 minute and get a text. Hello, thanks for registering for our upcoming event. And that's where you can do the name actually. Event name. We look forward to seeing you, Blake and Jasmine. Is that cool? So nice. I love it. You can even have an email to be sent to them. Wait, let's do 3 minutes, for example, just a little time. Minutes, and you can draft like the whole email. I'm not gonna do it now, but you get the point. You can put Jasmine and Willis, one of the emails, subject, you are registered for, let's see how actually, Columbia, that's their page.
Hold on, Brad. I think you're going down the rabbit hole here.
Okay, I'm so excited.
Eventbrite. We didn't do Eventbrite.
Okay, but
Natasha, good to see you.
Eventbrite.
Thank you guys. This was awesome.
Hell yeah. In fact, I'm thinking, are we doing this event again next week?
We are. So there's a lot, and I know that we can go over and over, but just to show you, if you have, I know people have questions, Walter, right?
Maybe questions. I'm thinking now would be, we've got a lot in their heads. So I think now's a very good time to pause it. Who's okay if we do Eventbrite next week? We show you just like the ins and outs. Maybe we review starting a meetup from scratch, an Eventbrite from scratch. I think because we're going to record this, we'll have our team trim it down, make it a little shorter, and put it out there as an asset. But now is probably a good time. If you got to jump off, go take care of your family, go out, get some dinner. But if you do have questions, stick around and we'll answer some questions. But yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day. I think that's the important thing to remember. Rome wasn't built in a day. Your event didn't exist yesterday. So, the fact that you're building it, the fact that you're getting people to it, that's important. Over time, we develop it. Fortunately, we're your tech partners. We've done a lot on the back end so that you don't have to do as much as all the other people who are running events and discovering they suck at doing all these things because they don't have the systems. We've already built them. So you have an advantage. It's just a couple of steps that you've got to do. And Today, I think Dorina went through a lot. So one, let's give her a big round of applause.
Yay.
This has
Yay,
been on the to-do
Dorina.
list for a while.
But if you are pressing for time, I just want to show you, this is Eventbrite. To create an event, you just click create an event and fill in all the blanks, right? So you can do it on your own. It's super copy paste stuff. And if you're on LinkedIn, this is the place to create an event again, just put all the blanks, copy paste, and you are done. Okay, so just want to show you this is extremely easy, but we'll cover it next week as well. Phew.
And a
Okay.
reminder of why we're doing this, why we go through the tech, not why we go through setting the name, the avatar, the web page, the event, the invitation to people. It's because people have everything we're looking for, and a very specific group of people have the problems you're looking to solve. So we just want to get them together, see if they got the problem you're looking to solve for them, and then service them, build a relationship, ask for referrals. You build your tribe around a problem, like you're offering a solution to a problem they all have. You know, the tribe we've built here in Alchemist Nation is we're building millionaires. So it's 100 millionaires aspire to build 100 millionaires. We know people have the problem of, you know, they want $10,000 passive income. They want to quit their job. They want legacy wealth. They want financial freedom. Or some people are just crazy like me and they just want to be a millionaire and get all the other things all handled all in one shot. So whoever you are, you're here because you associate with the same challenges that we associated with originally when we started. And now we're looking to solve those problems because we've figured it out. We found other people who figured it out, and we just want to solve the problems for people who already have those problems. Hands can, if you understand, that's what you're doing too. You just happen to be doing it for your business. It happens to be your business. You're a realtor. You know what problem you solve. They need a house. If you're a real estate investor, you know what problem they solve. They need to get rid of their house, or they want to buy a house, or they want to put their money into something that's working for them. If you're working with you're a coach, you know, all these business owners just need more skills. They need to stay in the game. Whatever your avatar's problem is, that's what your event is all about. It's about solving that problem. Hands care if you understand the idea behind events, why we do it. Infinite cash flow. I hate chasing clients. I love when clients come to me. So we're creating a magnet. So go ahead. I saw Maureen and Lee have their hands up. Go ahead.
So I have a quick question on Meetup. Do you synchronize the Meetup platform with the Alchemist Nation platform? Because you're in the back office at Alchemist Nation. Because I've done meetups before, but a while ago, a long time ago. So I don't know if this is a whole new way to set them up.
We basically syndicate it, yes. So we have our virtual assistants, our team go out and syndicate the events on Alchemist Nation. As long as the description